This video, I'm just talking about games that have been remade and remastered. I'm only talking about games that are in my collection that I have in those categories. So please like, share, subscribe. Subscribe bottom mark just right down there, bottom right hand of the screen. If you're on the phone, turn the phone landscape so you can see the watermark, and the watermark is there for those who are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, press on that watermark. So a remastered and remakes, remastered games, they're very remastered games are basically a graphic change. It's just the graphics are slightly better, and you might get bonus modes here and there, or remastered. Usually they're just from a generation change, so it's just like from PS3 to PS4. Last of Us, Last of Us One was remade a year after it came out because it came out the same year as PS4. What the actual PS4, the remastered version of Last of Us came out a year later on PS4. Originally it was PS3, so there's not much of a difference. There's not much. Just overall a sharper picture. The picture is gonna be sharper. Obviously, frame rate and the graphics are better, slightly better controls, but they're the same. They're basically the same game remastered. For the most part. The good thing about certain type of remastered games is that you'll run into a scenario where you'll get a 2 game in 1 bonus. So the good thing about, like for example, a God of War, the collection, the Origins a collection, and the first 2 God of War collections. So you're getting 2 games in 1. A pretty good deal, like a really good deal. And in this case, it was only $10. A steal. It's a steal. So basically, the PS2 games on PS3, or in the case of these two, they're PSP games on the PS3. So if you had trouble like with your PS2, like me for example, or PSP, you can play those same games on this. So again, the 2-in-1 bonus was great. It's a very good bonus. And yeah, sometimes you will get extra modes. Like I believe God of War 2 had extra modes. But yeah, so just, and the picture is sharper. I know PSP is probably for these games. PSP is probably like, my God, if you look at it, looking back now, like the graphics were so, compared to now, they're gonna look prehistoric and very old graphics, like mobile games, the early days of mobile gaming type graphics. But if you play it on PS3, it looks sharper. The picture is so much sharper. And yeah, so Crash Bandicoot. No, this is a 3-in-1 bonus. The trilogy of the PS1 games. The beauty of this is, again, it is basically a 3-in-1 bonus, and so you're getting the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games remade, but they're basically remade. So this is like 4 generations later. Or 3 generations later. They are remade, and with PS4 graphics, the jumping is different, the animations are different, the same levels, is just the enemy animations are different. The way of how they react to you is slightly different in certain areas. And yeah, so 3 games in 1. Yeah, at a steal. If you find it, you should be able to find this now in your GameStop or Best Buy or wherever. And I believe they're gonna, with all of these remastered now, they're probably gonna make this for PS5 as well. So yeah, and with a Crash 4 coming out recently, Crash 4 late 2020, you had that one as well. That's a sequel to these 3 games. So 3-in-1 bonus, like great. And the jump delay is a bit higher in this one, so the jumping isn't going to be as accurate compared to the original. But eventually you do get used to it. Another thing about remastered is sometimes there is a slight change in difficulty. slight, it may be harder or easier in some cases. And Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I realize it is a bit harder than the original Need for Speed on PS3. So the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010, this was remade, came out 2020, so 10 years later. I'm guessing it's like a 10-year edition. Now, sharper picture. Now, with the PS3 game was already great graphics itself. Like, for the time, it was amazing. It was the picture was so clear, the scenery, tons of color, saturation, contrast, and tons of light. Very light game. But yeah, the remastered is that even more. It's even more sharper. And I guess there is a few. So you're getting all the HD, no, all the DLC in that game basically. All the DLC from the original game in this one. So that's another thing too. You're getting the DLC bonuses from the original game. Yeah, that's a big thing. Especially if you had a default game back then. So again, better graphics, sharper picture, extra bonus modes. And sometimes too there are rare cases that you don't really notice it, but the mechanics might be better. In remakes, most likely. In remakes, the Destroy All Humans remake and the Crash remake, it feels more fluent to get around and move around. Just with the analog sticks, it just feels a lot more fluent. And you're not struggling as much with the controllers. With the older versions of the game, the non-remakes, so the originals, you might struggle a little bit with the controls, moving around, getting like into cover, or jetpacking, or jumping, or climbing. But with remakes, they do make it easier. They basically make the controls and the mechanics more fluent and smooth. Sometimes there are no changes. There is no changes at all. Aside from this graphics like GTA 5, I didn't really recognize any changes in GTA 5. Apart from the fact that you can shapeshift into animals through these type of plant-eating bonus side missions, which is pretty cool. There's the deer, there's the panther, the mountain lion, the cow. It's pretty cool. So yeah, and in the case of these, like almost no changes from the original games. And another thing too about remastered is that if you have like the newer console or the more recent consoles, and if back in the day, like you lost your previous consoles, you sold it, like a PS2, a Xbox, the original Xbox, a PS1, a Nintendo, you can rebuy those remastered. You can play those same games on your current gen or your more recent consoles like PS4, PS5, Xbox One. So it makes it a lot easier for you. It'll make it a lot easier for if you missed a game back then, or I really want to get a game. Like in my case, the PS2 had trouble where the games would scratch easily. The disc would scratch easily. So and then eventually they would become unreadable, so you can't play them. So the good thing about a remastered is that they make you able to play those same games on your console under more stronger hardware. So yeah, or I would have sold a console like I sold my PS1 many years ago. I don't know, or somebody got rid of it. I don't know why, but you can replay those games again. So anyways, remasters and remakes. Another honorable mention is not here. I don't know where it is. DMC HD collection. The Devil May Cry HD collection was great because you had 3 games in one. So it's a 3 game in one bonus. DMC 1 to 3. But it's basically a remastered. So HD collection is a remastered. Back in those times, like early 2010s, they did call it HD collections. But since the PS4 generation, it's remastered, and you're seeing them a lot. Again, nowadays you're seeing remakes a lot more. You see them a lot more. So anyways, that's it. Remakes and remastered. Share, subscribe. You guys know the basics. Next video I'm gonna do probably I'm gonna talk about like my favorite TV show, or continue on the GTA 5, Red Dead 2 comparisons. Thank you.